Yo, what's up guys? Trail here on Trail Game Vlogs. I just finished Clannad After Story in its entirety. The Blu-ray. I've watched all Clannad now. And I know the movie is just really a movie version of the entire series, so I'm not fucking watching that. It's the same thing, the reason why I won't watch the Gurren Lagann movies. It's the same damn series, just put into a movie format. It's kind of not worth it. You gotta be one hell of a hardcore Clannad fan. And how do I feel about it? After Story in itself, and I'll talk about the Clannad series in general, then I'll probably make like a real review for it. After Story, for the most part, does exactly what everyone says it does. People are like, you know, Clannad is awesome, it's great, and After Story is amazing, and it fixes, and it, you know, it reprimands most of the problems in season 1, which I will agree with, it does. There is only one part in After Story I really don't like. The part I'm referring to is actually near the beginning. It's Sunohara's little section. And a lot of people are like, what's wrong with the Sunohara section? Well, it's kind of bullshit. The thing about Sunohara section is, like, you know, the shit with him and his sister, I didn't mind what the subject matter was about. What bugged me is the lack of development for certain areas. For example, you have that section where, like, he and Sanai are coming home from their date, quote unquote, and, like, this little girl is getting bullied by these little boys in the park, and Sunohara's like, fuck that nigga, and May kind of takes that as to a flashback where we learn that, oh, Sunohara used to be a very defensive big brother, whereas now he kind of doesn't really give a shit what she does. He used to be a lot more defensive, be like the big brother that cared about May, and apparently whatever happened with him and the soccer team, apparently that fucked his mindset up, so he just said fuck May, at least in terms of, like, really being defensive of her. And the problem is that that entire arc for him doesn't even ever really justify that. I mean, literally, the second half is them trying to get him into the soccer club again for no goddamn reason, as if being in a club is what would re-change his fucking mindset back. I don't understand how a club affects how you treat your little sister. I'm sorry, it didn't make any fucking sense. And then the fact that he was so stupid to believe that May and Okazaki were dating, like, he actually took that seriously, and I was like, no. So I feel like Sunohara's one was bullshit because it never really explained why like we see what happens during the soccer club shit back then, but it's not enough of a justification to warrant what he did after, which is apparently be a very uncaring or undefensive, or like he just wasn't as involved into May's life, and it was like, how the fuck does that correlate? They never explained that, and it was very fucking annoying. That's the only bad part of Clannad. It's the After Story anyway. It's just that it pisses me off. I'm like, you just made me, I honestly am insulted. I kind of don't want to see, I hate seeing Sunohara in comedy mode, because it just reminds me of how little that people care about that character. It's like, what we're going to do to Sunohara is make him a stupid comedic character. And people found him funny. I can't find a character funny when I know they're only fucking, in the early episodes of After Story, they have him get beaten the shit out of a lot, and it's just really annoying to watch. Like, I got very tired of seeing Sunohara after a while because of his quote unquote backstory arc part, because that was bullshit. I'm sorry, that was bullshit. You can argue that with me, but really, explain to me how the club situation correlates with him being a dick of an older brother. And maybe it's because I'm an older brother too, and so I kind of fit into Sunohara's place in that sense, because I have a younger sister, and that just pissed me the fuck off. I'm sorry, it really did. It was bullshit. They didn't explain anything. I swear to God, Sunohara is like the main character they do not give a shit about. In terms of the ending, it's not as dark as I thought it would be. Also, the fact that Nagisa's death is not even at the end of After Story was ridiculous to me. Because I'm looking, I'm like, wait, we're on episode 16. She's not dead, right? Right? Episode 17. She's fucking dead. I'm like, what? Whoa, what the fuck? I mean, overall, I like After Story. I'll probably give it like an A-. A-, or B plus. I did enjoy After Story, so I'm not gonna hate on After Story for that. What do I think is Clannad overall? I think you're putting a lot of faith in the fans to finish the first season. A lot of people seem to like the first season. I don't necessarily like the first season like that. The first season was very convoluted. It didn't know what the fuck it wanted to do, and a lot of the payoffs from the first season sets up aren't until second season, and that's if you bother with it. And you know, for me, I'm used to having that kind of situation because I watch One Piece. One Piece has this exact same setup. The difference is it wasn't really fun to watch the first season because the first season starts off, it's like, oh, I'm this misunderstood fucking I'm this misunderstood punk, even though he's not. That's the other thing I thought was bullshit. I like Tomoya's development all throughout the story and even near the end of the first season, but for me to buy that he was this uncaring, like, dick of a person before he met Nagisa, not seeing it, because the first things we see him do is interact with people and ask and try to help people. How the fuck are you supposed to say, oh, I'm this dick who doesn't give a shit? Sunohara made more sense than fucking Tomoya, and that was bullshit. Fuko shit to me is still kind of pointless. It does have a payoff in After Story, but to me, it really fucked up the pace for the first season. It also took a lot of time away from the other characters like Kyo and Ro, which is probably why they gave Kyo and Ro that fucking little arc at the end of After Story. Is because they were so underdeveloped or undershown, because they focused a shit ton of time on Fuko, and I'm like, she is not that important of a character. Mind you, the characters she's related to are, so I guess it kind of makes sense. I still think I think you could have mentioned her and it would have been fine, but no, you had to go through this long-winded fucking arc with her. It was ridiculous and no one cared because it had the Pokemon effect, Pokemon first movie effect, where everyone fucking forgot, and I was like, this is bullshit. The shit with his dad, I liked the rectification for it. Mind you, if you're pissed off with that in season 1, it's gonna annoy you how long it takes to get to it in season 2. It takes like in the last few episodes. Like, I think it was like episode 18, 19 is when it actually gets rectified, near the end of After Story. I really enjoyed the side stories with Misai, and I forget the girl's name, the girl who's in the fake library. Not Katomi, but what's it like? Yukanina? I forget her name. I like that with her and the whole street punks and her older brother. I like that. The Masai shit was really, really good. I was so fucking surprised of that, some Masai shit with the cat. That was really good. I enjoyed the fuck out of that one. It's like, overall, Clannad is fun. It's just, if the first season was stronger, I could really get behind the strong-ass recommendation for it. But the first season's kind of flat, because the first season starts off with this, like, I don't like how bad Sunohara is treated throughout the damn series, honestly. Because he's treated really fucking bad. It's actually really fucking annoying after a while. Tomoyo is barely, I don't even think really is in the second season. And that's probably because they gave her a little arc at the end of the first season, which I was kind of like, whatever. I will say, if you're a fan of different scenarios in terms of couples, I guess if you're a fan of different types of shipping, maybe Clannad will work for you, because they seem to cater to that in the extra episodes they give out on these things. Like, technically the seasons are like 44 episodes, but they're like these extra episodes on both seasons. It's fine. I would say it's like a B. It's just the first season has a lot of problems that piss me the fuck off. A lot of it, you're putting a lot of faith in the viewer to go into the second season, because a lot of the problems with the first season you don't get rectification for till the second season. For example, Tomoya's change as a character, I don't notice in the first season. You notice it in the second season, you don't notice it in the first season. Sunohara's supposed change, not even change, but like his issues that come up in After Story. For me, there wasn't enough of hinting to that, and 2, there's no payoff in the season 1, and season 2's payoff is kind of bullshit because, as I said, it wasn't good. The mini harem aspect you get in the middle of it, with you realizing who Tomoya actually is in love with, is alright, but kind of ridiculous. To me, it was alright, but just, as I said, kind of ridiculous. The Katomi stuff in the first season is cool. It's just, to me, what was the point of having them be childhood friends, considering they never even did any, like, shipping with those characters? So it kind of seemed, I don't know, maybe the fact that they're childhood friends seemed kind of stupid. Also, there are a lot of points in the season 1 where it's like, oh, Nagisa's my girlfriend, but in season 1, there are portions of the arc of stories where she's just in the background. Like Katomi, she's completely in the background during that entire set of episodes. She doesn't even become she's strong in the beginning and she's strong like in the end, but she's really weak in the middle. In the middle, they just treat her as a normal character, which is very weird. Like how the first 2 episodes acted like they were gonna go between, like, you know, Tomoya and Nagisa with the shit with his arm and the shoulder and the shit with his father. You know, it sets up a lot of things at the beginning, and then it goes into Fuko shit, and we're just kind of like, what the fuck? The Fuko shit took way too... I'm sorry, the Fuko shit is really offensive. I'm sorry, it really is. To me, that threw me off so badly when it was introduced, and I never really regained myself until near the end of season 1. I do think After Story fixes a lot of things that season 1's has a problem with, but I still think season 1 is like really weak on certain aspects, because it goes through like 3 or 4 different genres, and you're like, what the fuck? It sets up as like this romance, and it goes into this fucking When They Cry setup where it's like, oh, you're helping dead people and shit, you're helping the spirit of people, and it's like this tragic story of everyone forgetting Fuko and how Fuko's spirit will always be there, and you know, the importance of her being there, even though there is no importance for that. Also, the Fuko payoff doesn't come until the 2nd season. Near the end of the 2nd season, mind you, so it's like, what the fuck? I think After Story is definitely the stronger of the 2. I'm betting if you watch the movie, you would probably enjoy Clannad a lot more. Not saying you can't watch the anime series and enjoy it. I'm just saying the anime series has a lot of things about it. At least the first half of the anime series is... you're putting a lot of faith into the viewer. A lot of people like this series, so maybe the faith part won't bother some people. Maybe I'm like the weird guy who thought it just bothered me a lot. I know a few people who don't like Clannad, and I can totally see why. But the thing about the After Story is that the story is really fucking good. Period. I'm not even gonna bullshit you. It is really fucking good. The concept of it, because it brings in a lot of new, fresh concepts, like the idea of like young love, young marriage. I love the correlation between Tomoya and his dad and shit. I like that. The concept of, you know, single parenthood, how life is. Like, there's a lot of deep shit in Clannad After Story that I can't, that if that was by itself, which it was so close to being, there are a few, you gotta kind of have to watch the first season to get certain things, but if that was a standalone series, Clannad After Story would be almost straight out. It's so fucking close to being perfect. It'd be so close to being perfect. Unfortunately, it's connected to the first season, and the first season has a lot of bullshit in it. I don't feel like... I think the other weakest thing about Clannad is that its side characters are kind of bullshit. Like, Kyo and Yo have like barely any development, which is why they got their own arc. Tomoyo has the same problem. They really only focused on Katomi, Nagisa, and Fuko. Those are really the main 3 characters side characters they focus, well, characters in general. Because Sunohara doesn't get any development in the first season. And Tomoya, you could say he gets development, but I don't call that development. I call that him being the same goddamn character for the entire fucking season. It's ridiculous. Like, really, there's only 3 characters that get development throughout the entire series. Fuko, Nagisa, and Katomi, with a lot of extra shit sprinkled in. I think Tomoya's arc is really After Story, which is probably why Nagisa dies fairly early in the series. Well, actually, it's still more near the end, but it was too early for me, knowing that there are 25 episodes and she dies at episode 16. That's why I think, oh, it's halfway through the series. I'm rambling a lot, but I don't know. It's like After Story is enjoyable. You can enjoy After Story, but if you're talking about a fun series, not really. Yoshino's cute as shit though. Yoshino is, oh my god, I love his daughter. His daughter is beast. Oh, she was so fucking cute. Every scene. Also, I think the ending I guess I should talk about. The ending is very confusing, like, because it says the final episode is episode 22. The ending for episode 22 is very fucking confusing. Do not just watch episode 22. Because if you skip 23, 24, and 25, you're not gonna get it. 23 is a year before the series arc. Like, I think it's the year before season 1 of Clannad. The second, I think episode 24 is the Kyo arc, which is what if Tomoyo ended up going out with Yo and Kyo and shit. And then episode 25 is a summary of the entire 2 seasons, which is actually a pretty good summary. But I would say, as a side note, it's the ending of that you need to focus on. And the ending of that explains that what the ending is in the anime. The true ending is that apparently that Yoshino died in like Tomoya's arms, but then like time reversed itself, as if everything between Nagisa's death and that moment was a fucking dream, and he re-woke up at Yoshino's birth again. And it was like, okay. I think I'm not, no, not Yoshino, Yoshiro. Yoshiro. Sorry, I'm kind of out of it. It's like, it's literally almost 7 o'clock. It's like 6:30 in the morning. I'm very tired. I've been up for a while. Obviously, if it's 6 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little out of it, but I figured I'd post this up. Obviously, I'm posting this up right after my fucking, Hunter x Hunter reaction. At least in the same time, well, not even the same time frame. I uploaded that reaction like 4, 5, 6 hours ago. I don't know. After the story's straight, I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. The Sunohara stuff was bullshit, and season 1 has a lot of bullshit in it. When I review the series, I'll go like, because I still gotta figure out how the fuck I'm supposed to recommend this show. But overall, it's solid. I don't really regret watching it. The first season kind of made me. The second season doesn't have that mindfuck effect that the first season had, because the first season just confused the shit out of me. Overall, B. It's like, it's pretty fucking good. I'm tired. Thoughts and comments in the comment section below, as I probably put spoilers in the title anyway. I'm done. That death was not as sad as I thought it would be, because I didn't realize it wasn't really a death. I don't understand why they say Tomoya died in the hole. He didn't die. Technically. I mean, you could make the argument he died, but it wasn't really a death. I kind of considered Nagisa's death a sad death. Whatever. Vlogs again for your boy Terrell. Thoughts and comments in the comment section below. I'm uploading this and I'm going the fuck to sleep. I should go to sleep before, but I'm just done. Peace off.